Hi, I'm Alina Sletten and I'm a psychologist and organizational consultant. I have worked in three very different worlds. I grew up in a post-communist society where fear, control, comparison, and silence shaped everyday life. Later, after moving to Norway, I worked as a psychologist with war refugees and individuals suffering from complex trauma. People who had lived through visible fear, loss, and displacement, forced to leave their countries in search of safety. At the same time, I worked as a HR manager and business consultant in multinational companies, high-performing organizations filled with ambitious professionals. At first, these worlds seemed completely unrelated. But over time, I realized something profound. The same invisible force was present in all three. Fear. In communist systems, fear was political and cultural. In war, fear was physical and existential. In organizations, fear was subtle, silent, and often invisible. Different forms, the same nervous system response. Trauma does not always have to be loud. Sometimes simply being forced to adapt is traumatic. People learn to stay alert, to perform, to comply, to avoid mistakes, to hide vulnerability, to compete instead of connect. Not because they were weak, but because survival had rules. This is when I understood something that changed my work forever. Trauma is not only a personal story. It is a systemic phenomenon. It lives in societies, families, organizations, and human bodies. And when people operate from survival mode, they cannot access their full intelligence, creativity, or leadership. In therapy room, trauma looked dramatic. In organizations, it looked like burnout, perfectionism, conflict avoidance, and stagnation. Different symptoms, but the same root cause. A nervous system trained for survival, not for safety. This insight led me to create Neuro Reset, not as a technique, not as a motivation, not as a mindset coaching, but as a nervous system-based psychological method for individuals, leaders, and organizations. It works in 3 steps: reset, calming fear-based survival patterns and activating safety. Rewire, transforming inherited fear-based beliefs and behaviors. Rebuild, creating self-trust, psychological safety, and sustainable performance. Because whether trauma comes from communism, war, or corporate pressure, the nervous system speaks the same language. When stress is activated, the survival brain takes over, and the logical brain is temporarily disengaged. People no longer react from fear, they choose consciously. Teams no longer operate under pressure, they function through collaboration. Organizations are no longer driven by control and urgency, but by clarity, trust, and sustainable performance. Reset, rewire, rebuild. This is Neuro Reset method.